Hey everyone, and welcome back to week 8. What is it, week 8 or 9? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Sam's League podcast. This week we have special guest Chris Goggin, along with Dan Fallon and Jack Libb. Cole is on the road right now, selling hospital beds, I think. I don't know. He's probably in surgery. Who gives a shit? But a quick recap of the week. Some big fantasy implications with Jimmy G, Jay Ajayi getting traded, Fat Kelvin getting traded, and suspension being held up. But first, we're going to let Chris get off and address the league for his pretty good season so far. Chris, what do you got to say?
Yeah, so first I want to tell Cole to eat shit. I hope he still remembers what I did to him. I think it was week 4 or 5.
Naturally.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
Sorry.
So, we've had quite the rivalry over the years, and I think, the last 6 years I beat Cole.
I want to say, we always say it's the best rivalry, but it's really just you dominating Cole. And he's
very lopsided.
And he always says, if Chris beats me, I'm going to quit, and he has yet to quit. So
yeah, he gets pretty upset with that.
Yeah, I understand it, but it happens. But
yeah, I also want to address the whole most hated thing. I think that should definitely be a Bernie's kid, because this is very dots-oriented league. And McNichol is my top vote for most hated.
Definitely a worthy adversary. I don't know. They're just there. You're at least competitive, right? But
yeah.
As I say that, John's in first place in the league. But
30 points a week.
Yeah.
Hold on, listen. Last week, I ran into him head to head, and
you ran into the buzzsaw.
The thrill is real. His defense is legit.
I've never seen anything like it.
I'm up against him this week, and his defense might show up again, but that's not his fault.
It's not him.
If you look at my bench and who I have to start, it's a tough one.
No doubt. But okay, like I said earlier, NFL trade deadline, Jimmy G got shipped out to San Francisco. Personally, I think this is going to benefit Hyde and Pierre Garçon, maybe Selleck, maybe Kittles, but it's going to take a week or two to really go into effect. Dan, do you want to give us a rundown of the Ajayi trade and implications?
Yeah, Ajayi coming to Philadelphia. I believe it's obviously an uptick for Ajayi. However, I don't see him getting 20 carries a game in Philadelphia. The biggest potential for him now comes in the red zone, getting some touchdowns. I've been hearing all the stats. The Dolphins have 0 carries 5 yards or shorter this season in the red zone. So he'll obviously be scoring some more touchdowns, and LeGarrette Blount's going to take a big hit. But I don't see it as a huge bonus to Ajayi. I still think he's going to be at about 50 to 60 yards a game.
Hey, the other thing, now he's one of the only players in the league to have 2 bye weeks this year coming up.
That's true. Wow. And also, apparently, I had read that the Dolphins are a little concerned about his knee.
Well, apparently he's going to have rested knees because of the bye weeks.
He's got cold knees.
Don't worry, though. Schmidt's team will still win, and you'll only score 50 points again.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
Without a doubt.
Jabbo scoring 60 points this week, but he's getting a W.
You have to take the projections and subtract 30 when punishment.
Jack, do you want to give us an overview of Kelvin Benjamin?
Surprising trade. I didn't realize. I don't think any of us knew Kelvin was on the trade block.
Whose team is he on? Really, like in the league? Is he on Joe or John's team?
I think John has him too.
Player that's going.
John's got 3 players that have been traded this year.
Holy shit!
He has Adrian Peterson as well.
Oh
Cam Newton. Cam's not very happy about this trade. Tyrod Taylor's stock goes up. I'd say Benjamin is probably going to have a little bit more success in this offense.
He becomes the lone target for an actual quarterback.
Right, on a competitive team.
Yeah, exactly.
What Doc John some transaction money.
He's orchestrated. He is the reason everybody's being traded. He's calling his higher-ups in the league. Hey,
Yeah.
get my guy to a good team.
Johnny Roseman over here.
Yeah. And some of the bigger news, I'm not 100% sure this is final, but Zeke is out. Chris, what do you think of it?
Well, I love it considering I have McFadden. So
Ooh.
that definitely helps me.
I heard he's the backup, though. But whatever. We'll continue. Keep going.
We'll see.
We'll see. For sure. It'll be a timeshare.
Yeah.
I'd like to quickly speak.
You can speak after Chris. Let him get his
Yeah,
words in.
I also wouldn't mind an Alfred Morris ACL. That wouldn't make me too mad.
Wouldn't hate it. But, I think... But what do you think about, like, Prescott and you got on your own team?
Prescott's value definitely goes down.
Great.
As he's going to have to do a lot more passing, but I don't think that's going to help because the run game's not there. I think they're going to have four-man rush and everyone in the back.
What about Dez and Witten and your man Cole Beasley?
Okay, definitely not my man, but
I don't know. He kind of looks like you.
okay, I can see it. Not at all, but hurts their value as well.
I agree. Dan, as the proud owner
I
of
can't believe you just insulted Cole Beasley like that.
As a Zeke owner, this is obviously disappointing news. I own him in a few leagues. However, I am 5-3, which is positive. So 2 wins could bring me into the playoffs. However, I would love to get a first-round bye, which means Zeke would come back for the second round.
that actually might work out. And you do play.
Hopefully, my team can put on. I do have 2 of the top wide receivers in fantasy so far this season in Hopkins and Antonio Brown. So I'm hoping I can sneak out a couple wins. If I can get 3 more wins by the end of the season, 3 or 4 wins could potentially give me a bye. We'll see how it plays out. But as an Eagles fan, it's a great thing. This kind of takes the Cowboys out, in my opinion. However, I kind of thought they were down there anyway, so Zeke's suspension next year would have been better. But
Yeah.
you live and you learn.
Yeah.
It worked out for the first 9 weeks. Second highest scoring team, whatever.
So let's continue. The current standings are as follows. John and Jack currently 1-2, buys in the first round, followed by Alex, Dan, Brendan, and Chris, 3 through 6. And that rounds out the playoff picture, followed up closely by Cole, Joe. Cole, I think, is 3-4, 3-5. I'm not sure. Joe is 3-5. Buck and I believe Dempsey are all 2-6, and Mike officially eliminated from the playoffs at 0-8. So
Cole's 5-3, by the way.
Cole is 5-3 as well, really. Wow. So there's some room to grow between the playoffs and the non-playoffs.
He's 5-3, about 150 points behind,
But still, there's 4 teams that are 5-3. He gets 1 game up. He's in there. But yeah, pretty much the bottom of the barrel stays as is. Quick announcement for anyone listening: if I proceed to lose this week and go to 2-7, everyone on my team is for sale for keepable assets next year. FYI, I don't plan on losing, but if it happens, it happens. So let's move on to the best starts. Jack, why don't you start us off?
This was, I predicted this upset last week, if you guys recall. Team I farted upsets Scott's Tots with Harrison Buttlicker. The Monday night game, 21 points. Guy killed it. I don't know where he came from, but he's my start of the week. There aren't many that great starts of the week, and I think Dan's got the most obvious one.
Okay, so Dan, who you got?
Yeah, so start of the week for me was actually the same start of the week as last week, but I accommodate Joe for sticking with Juju Smith-Schuster. Not to say it was an extremely tough decision on his part, looking at his team. However, Juju, the kid that's 3 years younger than me, had 192 yards and a touchdown, I believe. So by Joe, it was a great pickup a couple weeks ago, and good for him for sticking with him as he's working his way back in the playoff picture.
Okay, great stuff. Chris, who do you got?
Oh, I'm doing one?
If you want.
If you don't have one on hand, just forget about it.
Okay.
You don't need this. This is an amateur hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go. LaShawn McCoy, I'm not sure if it was this week or last week, but he finally got in the end zone for Brendan, who put a whooping on Try the Veal. McCoy, I think, had 2 touchdowns on the day and 100-some yards. Also, even though I predicted the Brendan win last week, my spread was a little off at 48-42, but Brendan easily covered, as always. The biggest mistakes I have of the week were Dempsey. Dempsey had 2 players, namely Deonta Foreman and Taylor Gabriel, that combined for a negative 0.3 points. He lost by 0.7 points. You could put in, and he had his favorite Rams defense on his bench. I don't know why. They were on bye week. He picks anybody up and puts them in over a backup running back and a Taylor Gabriel. You win that week, Debs. It's just boneheaded stuff. Dan, what do you got?
You know what? I feel bad for Brian because Alfred Blue has not been playing at all the entire season, and Deonta Foreman should have gotten carries, but Blue got them for some reason, so I do feel bad. He should have won that. But Jack gets the biggest mistake of the week by starting Deshaun Watson. By not starting Deshaun Watson and starting Tyrod Taylor. Deshaun Watson was the first quarterback in NFL history to have 400-plus passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 55 rushing yards. And he was on the bench
as a rookie.
36.78 points, second highest scoring quarterback of the week. His counterpart, Russell Wilson, outscored him. But it was just,
nothing like benching the highest scoring fantasy player in the league,
Yeah, benching the hottest guy in the league. I don't know.
Lay it on me.
Sure, Jack won't sit him again. But it's just, he somehow snuck away with the victory. I don't know what Jack would be doing with himself if he didn't win that game, but it was a tough one. Piece of shit.
Okay. Piece of shit, you're up. Who do you got?
Piece of shit has, that's right. Piece of shit has, John still beat Chris.
I was going to do that.
We were all happy about it. He won despite having Will Fuller on his bench. The guy has only scored touchdowns.
I don't get it,
well,
man.
7 of 13 catches, I think he has, or touchdowns.
He's on pace for like 1 million touchdowns career long.
I have no room to talk, but that's my worst start of the week. I feel you, John.
Chris, do you have one?
I did, and then Jack took it, so
okay.
No, I'm going to pass on this one as well.
Okay, then. So we're going to move on to previews for the week. Dan, you're up. You have actually a Jack versus Brendan, a 2 versus 5 playoff implication matchup. What do you got?
Yes, I do. So I got Jack versus Brendan, as Sam said. And Brendan has yet to put in a kicker, so I'm going to act like he would put one in. But Jack has Deshaun Watson in a great matchup this week, so I'm sure Deshaun Watson will probably disappoint with like 200 yards and 1 touchdown.
Probably.
And Tyrod Taylor's going to go off. But now looking at the matchup, Brendan really hurts from LeGarrette Blount with Jay Ajayi coming in. Brendan's team is it's an okay squad. He'll be able to shove Fournette in there, which will be nice. But I do think Jack's team's going to pull away with the victory here from big performance from Doug Martin and an even bigger performance from Julio Jones. He's going to pull away 101 to 72.
Wow. Okay. Chris,
Sorry,
you can preview Alex versus Brian. 3 versus 11. What do you think?
Okay. Well, even though Demps tells me every time he's out and drunk that he's the best drafter in the league, I'm going to have to go with Scott's Tots dismantling LeBron James. Okay. 126 to 76. Demps is going to get his projection on the dot.
Okay.
But
then.
he's only projected 76, so not going to do it for him.
Nope, not quite, not quite. Jack, you're up next. You actually have Dan versus John. 1 versus 4. We talked about it a little bit, but what do you think?
These are actually two good teams with two bad weeks set up for them. And, I want to take Schmidt, but I don't, he's got two players on new teams here. I don't think they're going to get much action. AP had that one good week. I actually, unbiased here, I think I'm going to take Dan in an upset.
Oh, wow.
Not 78 to 72. Dan wins.
I'll take that.
Okay.
It's
Can I just
gonna be
say?
the lowest scoring game of the week.
I mean,
Can I say right
John's
now,
defense
I
is
have-
going to hold up. That's what I'm getting from this. It's just his offense fails to show up.
Right now, I have 2 players from the New York Jets starting on my team, and I don't think that's changing. So,
Great
Look
look.
out.
Great look for
Look out, bro.
an up-and-coming team.
Josh McCown.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
shall we have ourselves
A little ad read? Yeah, go ahead. Who's got it?
We have visuals here for some people. So
If you're a premium member, please tune in to the visuals.
Rubbermaid Commercial Products is sponsoring our episode today with the new Spill Mop. The new Spill Mop removes hazards quickly. It absorbs 32 fluid ounces of water in seconds and leaves it absolutely dry. It's made with the same material as a diaper. Comes with this nifty kit that fits 20 pads and your mop handle and can hang on any wall. Newest innovation from Rubbermaid Commercial Products.
Why, thank you, Rubbermaid, proud sponsor of the podcast.
Tell you what, it's actually a hell of a machine. A hell of a machine.
It doesn't sound like a machine. But, okay, moving on. Next game of the week is actually me. We have Joe versus Chris. Battle for a playoff spot, 8 versus 6. Joe right now is predicted to win 85-82, but Chris doesn't have any defense yet. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Actually, there is, but I think we're going to take Chris in a close one. I think Joe's got a lot of his big names on the bench, including Juju, Jordan Howard, Chris Hogan, Tariq Cohen, Andrew Luck, obviously. But he has a big boomer bust team. I think they shoot for the moon, but they don't quite make it. Chris takes it 95-89.
I'll take that.
Chris, you are up next with Cole versus Mike. Does Cole get his first win of the, or Mike get his first win of the year? What do you think?
I'm trying to find a way that he does, but I wish I could say he's going to get a win.
Don't look too hard.
You'll go blind.
His team is brutal. I wish you best of luck, Mike, but Cole's gonna win.
What do we have a score prediction?
I'm just gonna take Cole money line.
Cole money. That's not fair. That's like a minus 800 bet.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out if Mike is gonna pick up a quarterback. Because if he doesn't,
I doubt it. Someone's got to
yeah.
text him and remind him he's got obligations. But
Or
okay,
gonna need one of them too.
it happens. So,
Yeah.
and on to the last preview of the week. 10-9, me Buck, Battle of the Suck. Dan, what do you got?
So, looking over the matchup here, it's Brendan does not have a running back eligible to play on his roster, and truthfully, I don't know if he's going to pick one up because you're not dropping Gronk, Thielen, Bell. I mean, I would potentially drop Pryor or Gillislee at this point to make room for a running back that can actually start.
Can you get one on the wire at this point?
I mean, there's some eligible people. I didn't actually look, but there are some serviceable players that can give you 3 to 5 points. I mean, Paul Richardson's been hot, but I'm going to have to go and lean towards the commission over here. I think Devontae Freeman. I think Atlanta's offense is going to have a big day in Carolina. Real high on them this week. I do think Prescott should have a decent game. Kansas City lets up a lot in the passing game. But Commission's going to win 92-12.
So I'm not going to get to buy any players off them?
No, not. And Schmuck's going to win 92-84. Let me
Good
close
point,
one.
Chris.
Yeah.
Good point, though. Yes, good point.
I'm kind of rooting against them.
Yeah, me too now.
Hey, it doesn't mean I can't be a seller. Price has got to be a little sweeter, though. I got to win out here, and the schedule allows for it. But it's I'm gonna go on a miracle run these next 8 weeks. But I think so. Last week picks. Give me a rundown of what we did. Dan was 2-0. Jack went 1-1. I was 1-0, and Cole was 0-1 on the season. We're still undetermined. I haven't gone back and checked yet.
I'm going to go back and check at some point. I will do that.
The other thing is I'm going to upload the waiver file where it says if who's eligible for keeper and all that, and who owes what money, all that to the league, so you can check and be aware. But anything else? Any closing remarks from you guys?
No, I'm about to go swim with some Asians.
Yep, no rumors this week. Trade deadline's coming up in 10 days.
Our best rumor this week was Johnny Schmidt getting his players on better teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris,
And
glad to have you
we're
on.
unsure what Cole's doing right now, so.
As being in contention for Rookie of the Year yet again, we wish you luck, Chris, as you're running unopposed. But
You're eligible till you win.
What this is going to be my 9th straight runner-up?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
See it that way. I think Dempsey's winning it this year.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's had a couple.
Good note, rumor that's probably coming true is we're probably going to have a rookie next year. So.
Not probably, but
Not a rumor.
yeah. But okay, guys, we'll
Sorry,
talk
Chris.
to you next week. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Suck it.